Field in Landover, Maryland. The enthusiasm for football here on the East Coast always in the air. These folks are ready as their guys get set to match up with the New York Giants. Two teams here fresh off Week 1 victories. Who can keep it going as we're underway on EA Sports? And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Let's go now. 60 Bison, 60 Bison.
Now Jones. He'll get this to the rookie from Florida. That's Kadarius Toney.
The Giants were able to trade back with Chicago and still land speedster Kadarius Toney with the 20th overall pick. This young flash out of Florida should help a Giants offense that was 31st in the NFL last year. And young quarterback Daniel Jones, he needs a target who can move the ball downfield. Toney excels at making guys miss in the open field, has a great change of pace, and picks up a first down with that catch.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Jones fakes the give to Barkley. There's the rookie from Auburn, Anthony Schwartz. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. So the ball moves from 138 to the other as they come up on 1st and 10. Throwing Jones. That's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Charles, did I just hear that right? They declined the personal foul. 3 yards, they just declined them.
And I have to think that the official is thinking to himself, did I just hear that correctly, that you declined that one? All I can think of is that someone on the field got confused.
Must have.
It had to, because you're going to take the yards on that penalty each and every time.
Down he goes at the 10 with a solid pickup of 8. 2nd and 2, first down marker at the 8. Off the play fake. Jones. He dumps it off to Barkley. And the Giants are going to be set up with a 1st and goal coming up as they get him down at the 6-yard line. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook. Pick out the plays that work best for you. And you know what else you're looking for? Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
2nd and goal from the 1.
Come on, QB, come on.
Jones will try and run with it. And he takes it into the end zone for a Giant TD. Daniel Jones, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Giants take it right down and score on the opening drive. Extra point try good by Gano. And that makes the score 7-0. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. Throwing on first is Wentz.
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted.
Picked off near the 34. And this one will be brought back to the 22.
So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
A throw left side to start out. That's complete.
7 yards, the pickup there.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Operating from the gun. Jones flushed out right. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
Caught on the slant. Touchdown, Giants.
Kadarius Toney
with his first career NFL touchdown.
And the Giants lead this now 13-0 here in the opening quarter of the ball game.
Gano the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away.
And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll.
And they were winners in the season opener Sunday. Now they get the quick turnaround game here on Thursday night. But, CD, you say this is an ideal setup for them. Why?
Well, it's just the way the schedule lines up because everyone's got to play a Thursday game, and that's because of competitive balance. So, let's face it, would you rather play week 2 when you're still relatively fresh and excited about the season? Or week 15 when you've had a season's worth of bumps and bruises to factor in, and who knows what your record might be at that time as well.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Watch the run, watch the run.
Now Wentz. This is caught by his tight end, Logan Thomas. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
And boy, CD, it's one thing to watch a great run, but when it's a great run with broken contact, it's like a cherry on top. That was a nice play.
Double tight, double tight.
On 1st and 10, it's Gibson.
Despite the strong run, he'll be hit and dropped shy of the 45.
He was brought down there by Julian Love. Well, this defense for the Giants, terrific last week in the season opening victory.
But we certainly had a nice conversation with the defensive coordinator, didn't we? And what we heard, I like what we did, but we definitely need more pressure on the quarterback this week.
A yard in the wrong direction makes 3rd down tougher. 3rd down and 9.
Well, that's not an easy play for a defensive end because most of his responsibility has him getting upfield and working, but how about his vision to see where the play was going, crashed down inside, and tackled him for a loss.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Offensively lucky there, able to keep the football, but now 4th down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. 1, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But 2, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
They come off a victory over the weekend, but now the quick turnaround here for this Thursday night game. How does that affect how teams like this approach these short turnarounds?
Well, wins and losses always factor into, how you're getting ready for the next game. But equally as important when you have the short turnaround What is your injury situation? Are you losing key guys? And if so, how well have the backups prepared for this? Because you don't have much time to get them ready. They have to be ready before this week in order to play well in this game.
3 yards the gain there, second down. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up on 2nd and 7. Jones with a handoff to Barkley. Shedding through the defense.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Here's Jones throwing on first down. And he will find his man Schwartz. That's complete. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. A big play there on the catch and run.
I would say just add that one to the total of big plays he's already made here in the first month of the year. You've got to think the front office and the coaching staff have got to be excited about what they've seen so far and really excited about what they expect to see down the road.
Throw left side. There's Schwartz with it. And so close. He gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there.
That's the third time on this drive that these two have connected with each other. They've got a real rapport going. And right now, it's paying off with big chunks of yardage, as shown by that last play.
And this one will wind up with him losing yardage. Back to the 4-yard line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
Switch it. Come on, switch it.
Looking to throw. Jones. He's got it. Touchdown, Giants.
No pain, no gain.
Saquon Barkley. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Giants are able to add on to their lead. Extra point try good by Gano. And that makes the score 21-0. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Now, early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game, but I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice, but at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15.
I'm coming, baby. Woo!
They'll try the left. Gibson. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. They go backwards there 2 yards, and 2nd and 1 is now 3rd and 3.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half. The line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Five in the secondary now for the Giants here on 3rd.
Hey, check back. Rip on 2. On here. Here we go.
Wentz gonna throw. And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there. Looks like a 9-yard loss, and it also brings up 4th. Here's Tressway now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Here's Jackson. They'll net only 35 here following a 43-yard boot, 8-yard return, and it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive. Well, from an offensive perspective, that was a tough run because he only picked up 3 yards. But let's flip it over to the defensive side. They now have the advantage. 3 3-yard gains, that means they're punting the ball likely on 4th down. That's what you're looking for when you're playing defense. Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground. And time to give some credit to the big fellas, the offensive line here, because you've got to have good protection on crossing routes because you've got to give your receiver time to work all the way across the field. That time, able to scan the field, spot his receiver moving left to right, and make a good, accurate throw. Thank you, guys.
Open man, he's got him. It's Toney for a Giant touchdown. Kadarius Toney with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Giants are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Gano the extra point, and it is 28-0. Gano now following the touchdown, here to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49.
Logan Thomas experienced a breakout season last year at the age of 29. Converted from playing quarterback, he finished 3rd among tight ends with 72 catches, and it certainly looks like his future is awfully bright.
Here we go, let's bring it. Let's go.
Play action. Now Wentz.
And looking for McLaurin, but this is intercepted.
Picked up by James Bradbury. And they will finally put an end to the return, but not until he takes it back all the way inside the 10-yard line. I tell you what, credit is due there on them preventing the touchdown after that interception.
How about him chasing him down and not giving up the pick 6? Because what happens a lot of the time is when you see the interception, you just kind of hang your head a little bit and you momentarily pause because you're frustrated. He shook that off and gave great chase and got it done.
Still a great return and very good field position. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here. And that is caught. He's got it for a Giant touchdown.
Anthony Schwartz
with his first career NFL touchdown.
And the Giants are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Extra point try good. 5-0 now. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And with a little under a minute remaining, they may try to put something together here just to try to cut into that deficit. That's out to the flat for Gibson.
And some room to roam now. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A big play that time on the catch and run.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far, and never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Wentz. Open on the left side, this is Valdez-Scantling. Flashed the stick skills, but didn't get a ton from it. Stopped short of the 35. That catch good for only a couple.
2nd and 8.
To throw is Wentz. That's complete. Terry McLaurin with it. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15.
Very good as a rookie. Terry McLaurin was even better in 2020. 87 catches for over 1,100 yards. He is definitely wide receiver 1 for the Washington football team.
From the red zone now, Wentz. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
And his kick is good. And that will do it for this first half. So we come upon halftime here with the visiting Giants out on top. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3.
Washington down on the scoreboard, but they are getting the football first here, and we are back underway on EA Sports.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll.
And they have a mountainous deficit looming in front of them. It was really, Charles, a disaster of a first half. So where do they go from here?
Well, first thing they have to remember is that what's done is done, and there's no going back. And now you have to play this drive by drive. Obviously, come back in this spot, pretty unlikely, but you still have to go out, take pride in your work, and try and put something together here in the second half.
And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A big play there on the catch and run.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
Here we go. 54.
No gain on this defense, no gain.
54's Mike. 54's Mike. Check. One.
They'll run on first down. It's Gibson, and he'll be taken down right around the 41-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
Hey, let's pin the mirrors back and go full strength.
Hey, watch Sam, watch Sam. Check Mike 54. Mike 54.
Hey, watch that. Hey, watch the ball.
Gibson again. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They've got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10.
Mike 6. Mike 6.
Throwing is Wentz. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
You better be afraid of me.
Wentz will try again on 2nd down.
You ain't going nowhere.
Eluding the pressure right. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
Oh, look at Thomas wide open. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 13-yard line. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They looked like a different team here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there were very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
Mike's 5-4. Watch the run.
Into the red zone, Wentz. This to McLaurin out on the left side. Touchdown, Washington. Terry McLaurin from 13 yards out.
And Washington able to cut into that deficit.
That touchdown was for all the fantasy people out there. May not change the final outcome, but some points were scored, and maybe some of the people at home are really excited to get those.
Extra point by Sly is up and good, and that will cut this lead down to 25. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
Still comfortably on top, 3rd quarter as they start things here with a 1st and 10.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here, and what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while, get at least 2 first downs, give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
On 2nd down, here's Barkley.
And boy, this burgundy and gold defense charged up now. They stop him behind the line again.
He winds up giving a yard back there, and now it's 3rd and 2.
Here we go. 60 Eagle. 60 Eagle. Warrior 70. Check tight.
Back to throw. Jones. And he finds Seals Jones complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A big play that time on the catch and run.
On 3rd down, it's very simple. Make sure you get beyond the sticks, make the catch, pick up the first down. But in this case, he turned it into bonus time and was off to the races for a monster play.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. A handoff to Barkley. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They'll go to Barkley again. Barkley hit and the ball pops free. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. So now our referee looking at the sideline saying, are you sure? But yes, this defense has accepted the penalty. So that means they will not take possession on the fumble recovery. Well, not sure why in the world you do that, but that is apparently the decision. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10.
44, Mike, 44.
Working from the gun, Wentz. That's complete to his receiver, McLaurin. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. Wentz now on 1st down. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by James Bradbury. And the Giants are going to take possession here at their own 6-yard line. Well, his arm strength never an issue, but this one winds up in the wrong hands.
Oh, the coverage here is just terrific because when it's done really well, sometimes you can't distinguish whether it's the receiver or the defensive back the ball's intended for. He actually ran with him in perfect motion.
And he's going to go down. He backed up into the end zone, and this is going to wind up a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense.
So after the INT, here's Wentz. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
In the 3rd quarter here in D.C., a 2nd and 10 upcoming.
Now a play fake. Wentz. This one complete to Curtis Samuel. And they work this well upfield across the 45.
Curtis Samuel exhibited a lot of versatility for 4 years in Carolina. Now in his first year with Washington, expect this football team to try and put the ball in his hands a variety of ways.
Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Wentz. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
A deep ball down that right sideline, and he made sure that he put it where either his guy was going to catch it or no one was.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. On play action, Wentz. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for Washington. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds. And they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line.
Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't it?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in one.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
Jones is going to put it in the hands of Barkley on the option.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Jones fakes the give to Barkley.
This one goes out wide for Barkley.
Barkley a 1st down and more. And he's got it across the 50 to the 47-yard line.
Well, normally you might say start running the football. You've got the lead here in the 4th quarter, but the way that they've passed it with such success, I don't know, maybe keep throwing it.
Yeah, I think you brought up something that goes against conventional wisdom, right? In this stage of the game, you would think you would switch to a running attack, but you're exactly right. They've thrown it so well throughout the game, and trusting this quarterback, I think you continue to do so.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
2nd and 10.
It's Barkley on the counter. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces, and I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And that's good for a gain of 6, and it'll be 4th down.
On 4th down, Joe Judge makes the decision. They're going for it.
Jones throwing on 4th down.
Man open, it's Toney. He's got it.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
The passing game continues to be their friend. Even with a stable lead here in the 4th, Charles, they're going back to that well.
Yeah, with their overall philosophy, you know that they trust their quarterback. He's been able to throw it well. They continue to throw these safe passes. Who can blame them?
And just a couple yards there down to the 17.
Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
This ball tipped, and it's going to be incomplete. Fortunate maybe to get that back. It's 3rd down.
In any event, it happened pretty quickly. I'm not sure he made the right decision on that one. I think if he had it to do over again, he would have found a different target downfield. But he made his decision, and that one's incomplete.
Flush to his right. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
And Gano's kick is right through.
So after 5 touchdowns offensively, hey, maybe it's time to get the kicker a little work, and he's able to connect there.
I love that empathetic side of you. You're worried about him getting some action, getting to be a part of the game. Well, he got in and got it done.
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff.
And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll.
They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Washington on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
Antonio Gibson is an absolute dart with the ball in his hands, and he can make you miss and he can run over you. Took a little while to crack the starting lineup as a rookie, but boy, was he sensational when he did. Went for 115 yards and 3 scores in a Thanksgiving Day clobbering of the Dallas Cowboys. And Washington, they feel like they had a real find when they took him in the 3rd round last year, number 66 overall, and he justified their decision.
41 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries. So the drive takes him into Giants territory now, 1st and 10 at the 46.
A handoff for Gibson.
And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
Now Wentz on the bootleg. And he will find his man, Samuel. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They can go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Washington with the football here as we welcome you back. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. And they'll get him down right around the 16. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Well, you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there, it's going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
44. Hey, let's get in them holes. 44.
Now Wentz. Touchdown. Curtis Samuel. His 3rd touchdown now on the year.
And Washington able to close the gap just a bit.
Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
So up comes Wentz as he and the guys on offense here will go for 2. Wentz going to look to throw. And this is going to be intercepted.
Picked off by the rookie Aaron Robinson. And the Giants force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27.
It's interesting that when it comes to 2-point conversions, even heavy run teams tend to throw the ball in these situations. In this case, this one was intercepted.
Yeah, they weren't fooled. They were ready for the pass, picked it off. And this is going to be covered up by the Giants. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number, kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
A big connection on that one. 37 yards.
No let up in this passing game. They've been a well-oiled machine throughout. And I actually saw a few guys on the sidelines at the end of the third quarter doing the old hold up four fingers college sign, meaning the fourth quarter is ours. And they certainly weren't kidding.
And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal. Another try for Barkley. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. So a victory here for the men in blue, the New York Giants, and maybe more importantly, a victory in the division, which always helps.
And on the road. How about all of that rolled up into one? Because how often do you see division games get decided by this much of a margin?
Yeah, they thumped them.
Yeah, they jumped all over them. In a division game, it's usually a touchdown or less because these two teams know each other better than most teams in the league. In this case, that didn't hold up. On the road, big margin, big victory. Oh, yeah, that flight home will be good.
So for the Giants, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they'll get the weekend off now as they get a little extra time to prepare to face the Atlanta Falcons.
Meanwhile, for Washington,
they'll fall to 1-1. And they'll try to get back on track next week as they head up to Orchard Park to take on the Buffalo Bills.